Boom! Hello viewers, welcome to Daramola Talk Finance. In this channel, we talk about finance and how to improve your personal finances so you can be able to make good financial decisions. And in today's video, we'll be talking about 4 things that you need to know to stay rich or to become rich in 2024. Just 4 things. You say 4 things and I'll become rich in 2024. Yes, start with these 4 things. So what are these 4 things? Number 1 on the list is called your income. You need to know what is your income. And the second is you need to know your taxes. And the third, you need to know your expenses. And the fourth, you need to know your net income. Yes, know these 4 things and you stay rich in 2024. So why do I want to know about these 4 things? Just stay tuned and I'll explain to you what these 4 things are and how to make good decisions with these 4 things. All right, be patient and I'll see you on the other side of this video. Boom. All right, okay, welcome back. So we talked about 4 things you need to know to stay rich in 2024. 4 things. The first on that list is called your income. Your income or your wages is what you receive at the end of the month, engaging your service with your employer. So at the end of the week or at the end of the month, you are paid income or you're paid wages. Whatever the amount is, that is your income. So some people are paid 100K a year as their yearly income. Some people are paid 60K a year in their yearly income. Some people are paid $30,000 a year as their net income. But I want you to understand this fact. But you know that if you're actually paid, let's say you apply for a job, on that job description, you see the yearly salaries 100K or $100,000 a year, but you discover that that's not actually what you're paid, right? You're not actually paid $100,000 a year. That's because the government has to take what belongs to them. It's called taxes. It's called taxes. So what is a tax or what is tax? Tax is what your employer is entitled to pay for the government at the end of every month or every time you are being paid and engaging your services to the organization. So when you work for a week or for a month, you're supposed to be paid, let's say you're paid $3,000, $5,000 at the end of every month, right? The government takes in what is called taxes. Now, tax is not like it's something that is very, very bad. The reason being is because when you see good road, when you see social amenities that is provided in the community, is your tax that is being used to make this available. I know some people have the opinion that government are not spending their tax well, or government officials are just living they're just living good life with your money. But I just want you to understand that tax is good and tax is not bad. And in this video, we'll be able to explain to you, or I'll be able to explain to you how you can be able to take advantage of tax benefit so that you can actually grow your wealth. Next on the list is called your expenses. You want to know your expenses. So what is your expenses? Your expenses are those things that you spend your money on. They may be necessities because at the end of the month, when you receive that paycheck, you have utility bill to pay, you have council tax to pay, you have transportation, you have maybe your mortgage lender, you have a mortgage to pay at the end of every month. Those are your expenses. You need to transport yourself to work. You need to pay your child's school fees. You need to buy one thing or the other in your homes, your groceries. Those are your expenses. So you need to know what your expenses are at the end of every month. That will help you to make good decisions, to know those things that are good and those things that you need to take out of your expenses so that you can be able to have good savings for you to invest. Remember, whatever you save, that is what you can take to invest. So if you have lesser amount to save, it means you have lesser amount to invest. Now the fourth thing is called your net income. The reason why it's called net income is because expenses have gone out of it, tax has gone out of what you receive at the end of the month. So first of all, you got an income, right? The government take out their tax, you take out your expenses. What is left on that list is called your net income. It's called your net income. So now, having known all this does not change you. It doesn't change you at all. But what you do with what you have known now is what will actually change you. And that's why I said, know these 4 things so that you can become rich in 2024. Now, there's something we know in the Bible. It says that if you do these things, it will be well with you if you do these things. So it's not about knowing them. It's about making decisions with these things that you have known. Let's talk about your income. So for instance, let's say you're receiving $30,000 at the end of every year. That may be a very small amount of money, but that's fine. You know that everybody started from somewhere. So you need to start asking yourself a question. How can I actually improve my income at the end of every year? What are the things that I need to do to improve my income everywhere? This way you now start asking yourself real questions. You see, you don't complain. You need to ask yourself, thought-provoking questions. Thought-provoking questions like, what can I do to improve my income from 30K to 40 or 50K? You need to start asking yourself that question. So you start brainstorming. Thought may be that you need to improve on your skills. Probably you need to get a more demanding skills that your employer will be able to pay you more, or maybe you need to get a better job that can afford you a better annual income, or maybe you just need to start up a new business, start up a side hustle. Very, very true. You need to just start up a side hustle. There's that idea that you have been writing down for a long time. Launch that business. Don't be scared to fail, because these are the things that you can do in order to increase your income. If your income is not enough, you look at your expenses, you look at your income, you just discover that your expenses on the rise, but your income is just staying static. It means that you need to improve your income. And these are the thought-provoking questions you need to ask yourself. The next thing is your tax. Like I said, tax is not something that is bad, but you need to ask yourself, how can I actually reduce the rate at which I am paying government taxes? I'm not saying I'm doing something illegal. For now, you can't control the tax you pay. That's because before the money even gets to your account, your employer have actually sent the money to the government. The government have taken what is theirs. So when you're working for someone, you can't actually control the tax you pay. But when you start up your own business, that's when you can be able to manipulate legally. So you need to get a good legal advisor who is going to guide you as to how to go about that. So when you're operating on your own business, that is actually when you can be able to control the amount of tax that you pay. Also, you need to understand that if I want to start up a business, what kind of a business registration do I want to do? There are some businesses that have more tax advantage than others. For instance, if you have an LLC, a limited liability company, for instance, you may have better tax advantage than somebody that has a business that is a sole proprietorship or a partnership business. So you need to speak with a legal advisor in terms of the tax benefit. Which business registration, if you want to start up a business, do I need to register my business in so that I can get better tax advantage? That is very, very important. Also, in terms of taxes, like I said, you want to start up a business of your own, because when you start up a business, that is when you can be able to manage your tax. You may ask, okay, Mike or Daramola, how do I manage my tax? I said, when you speak to your advisor, there are different ways they can actually advise you as to how to manage your tax so you don't end up paying a lot of tax to the government. One practical way, this is just a suggestion, I'm not saying this is what you should do, but at the end of your business transaction, you can actually tell the government, these are the things you spend your money on. Expenses, like we've talked about, these are your business expenses. So when you list those expenses, you discover that whatever is left, which is the net income, that's what you disclose to the government as taxable income. You get the point? So those are examples of where you can be able to manage the tax you pay to the government. But when you're working for somebody, you don't have the opportunity to do that. So we've talked about income, we've talked about tax, we've talked about, and we are going to expenses. So expenses are what takes money away from your pocket or out of your bank account. Some people, their expenses on the rise, but the income is not static and it just fixed. And I'm not saying it's something that is bad. Of course, everybody have a level to which we started from, but you need to look at your expenses at the end of every month. Go to your bank app, look at your bank statement, check what are the things I'm actually spending my money on. Remember, we talked about budget in our previous video. And if you not watched our previous video, please do where to go to the channel. You see where we talk about budgeting, how you can be able to budget your money. And if you watch that video, that will help you to gain more understanding as you watch this one. Also, if you've been able to be learning something from this channel so far, please, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Also comment so that you can also help the algorithm. I mean, we want to build this channel to 5 million subscribers. Yes, 5 million subscribers. That's where I want to take this channel to. So please subscribe. If you have any comment or if you have anything you want us to talk about, then please comment on the video and I will make sure I do just that. All right, so as we continue, expenses. So you want to look at the things you're spending your money on monthly that are not actually priority. If these things are not priority, then take them to below, take them down off your list, right? Some things you don't actually need them. So if you don't need them, it means they are not necessary. For instance, the money you spend on alcohol, you can actually stop alcohol or reduce the amount of alcohol you take. So you can be able to save amount of money. I used to work in a store when I was in Scotland. Check my video. I stayed in Scotland for some years. And in the store I was working, I know some people that actually spend, at least there are some cigarettes, JPS they call it, JPS blue, red, whatever the name is. Some are sold for £10, some are sold for £15, some are sold for less, some are sold for £19. Now there are some people that comes to the shop at least 4 times a week to buy these cigarettes. Some people every day. That's a huge amount of money that could be saved, right? But I know it's an addiction, but of course you need to work on how to reduce this thing so that you can have a good amount of money that you can actually save, which you can use to invest. So look at those lists. What are the things you're actually spending on that you don't actually need? The parties you go to, I'm not saying parties is bad, but you can reduce it. Also think about your future. So sometimes it could be that you need to buy that designer shoe, but you just have to be patient enough to grow your income so that you can be able to live that kind of life that you want to live. So expenses should be looked into. That is what you do after understanding what expenses is. Now, how can I reduce my expenses? This is what we just addressed just now. The next is your net income. So for instance, after looking at every expenses, the tax, now the government have taken away the money is so much little that it can't actually meet your expenses. Now you need to be brutal. Okay, I think I need to improve my income. So how can I grow this income? In conclusion, you want to start up a business. Yes, so what kind of business you can start? You can start up a side hustle, you can start up a YouTube channel. Yes, you can start making calls. Some of you are passionate about dancing. Some of you are passionate about basketball. These are ideas you can actually make a course on how to play basketball, how to play guitar, how to sing, how to do great, wonderful stuff. Yes, some of you can code. You can actually build a course and start an online business teaching people how to code, right? That's how businesses are bettered. You understand me? So start the business, launch that idea. Don't be scared to fail. Take that investment course. Don't be scared to fail. Develop yourself. Don't be scared to fail. And as you begin to take this little step, you will discover that one thing leads to another thing. And all of a sudden, the opportunities begin to widen. And you discover that your net income can actually take care of your expenses and you have a lot of money to actually save. Right? So in conclusion, you want to ask yourself a question. What are the amount of asset that I have? If you don't know what is asset, you can watch my previous video. I talk about asset and liability. Now, you want to know what are the amount of assets you have. Even if you have zero asset, that's not bad. But you can start from today. What investment can I actually start from? So start building asset 1, asset 2, asset 3, asset 4. Because the amount of asset you have will also lead to the amount of net income you are going to make at the end of every week, every month, or every year. So asset will give you opportunity, good asset will give the opportunity for you to have better and better net income at the end of the year, or at the end of the month, at the end of the week, or at the end of the day, if you make money daily. All right, like I said previously, it's not about knowing these things, it's doing something with what you have known. That's what makes the difference. Take action. Don't just watch and just know. Yes, of course, we want to increase the viewership, but I also want your life to also improve financially, because that's the main purpose of this channel, right? If your life is not improving financially, then of course you don't need to watch this video. Take action. That's my joy. That's my testimony. That's why I'm happy. Take action. All right. Okay, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and give your comment on this video. And don't forget to stay green. When I mean stay green, I mean stay positive, because when you're making money, it means you're staying green. All right, stay green. And until now or next time, see you and take care of yourself. Bye for now.